Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and we're going to talk about how broke, in terms of cash, the SNP are, because it's actually quite important. John Swinney's out launching the new campaign for Holyrood 26, the big push to win the Holyrood election next year. But I don't know how they're going to afford it, genuinely. A couple of years ago, there was much delays where they couldn't get an accountants to do their books. They eventually got one, and after much delay, it was finally shown that they were in a big financial hole in the black. Then the following year, which would have been sort of the year ending at some point in 24, they managed to produce books that showed that they were in the black. They were solvent again, but they only did so because of some financial jiggery pokery and by pulling basically all the local organisations that they have up and down the local groups and taking all their reserve money and putting it in just to so, oh look, we got money. And so they ended that financial year in the black. Not much, but in the black. Excellent. Then we come into this year, this financial year. Now already in this financial year, they've had to have the funding for a general election. And that will have not only wiped out what they had in the bank, basically, but they'll be back down massively in the red again. The only problem now, of course, is they don't have any corporate sponsors. They lost all those seats, so they're not getting all the short money. They got a lot fewer members, so they're not getting money from the membership. And so you have to wonder, where's the money coming from? And now, of course, he's starting the push for the next Holyrood election. How are they paying for it? Seriously. Now, he's starting this. He's now out on the pool. He's going around doing fundraisers. They want to raise, well, they need millions, effectively. If you're going to run an effective campaign, you need millions. But this is a cash-strapped party. Now, they've actually advertised for a role for a fundraiser. And they're offering a rate at £45,000 a year. Now, we know that they've already laid staff off. We know they're struggling to pay the rent on their HQ. That may be left gone and moving into smaller premises. Nobody knows how they're paying for all the hire cars. They've had to let staff go at Westminster and at Holyrood. And yet they can find £45,000 for a fundraiser. A man or woman to come in and get the funds in, raise those funds. But who's going to be willing to put the money in? Most of the members are cash-strapped now because the economy is faltering. They've alienated all their corporate sponsors. You've got court cases going on. And they still owe Peter Murrell £60,000, don't they? So is this party about to go bankrupt? Because it only takes a single creditor to pull the plug. And it takes one creditor to go to court and force them into administration so that creditor can get his money. I don't know about standing and running for, the 26th Parliament, Holyrood 26. I think they need to start concentrating on getting some cash in and surviving because they are in deep trouble. Now, this is a very dark cloud of a time for them. Cash-strapped, court cases, signs of infighting on just about every possible front you can have, embarrassment, people resigning because they don't think they're going to win the next election, lots of people resigning, and then you got Swinney standing there going, oh, we're going to win the next election, and I'm going to run as First Minister for the next 5 years. Well, not if Stephen Flynn's got anything to say about it, you won't. Strange goings on in the SNP at the moment. And of course, you've got the continuing fall of membership, which is actually accelerating. They refuse to publish their membership numbers. Now, come the election in 2026, they do have to do that as a legal requirement. So that'll be interesting to see how few people are actually still formally members of the party. I bet it's under 70,000. I reckon it's under 50,000. We'll not know, of course, for another 10 months. But I bet by then it'll be under 50,000, which goes to show how bad it is. Do you know, ever since Alex Salmond was leader, the party has gone downhill, and I don't think there's a way back for them. Oh dear, what a shame. How sad. Thanks a lot. Bye.